Dude, let's talk about
Gives your cheek a
receiver.
Oh yeah, what are you going to talk about?
I want to hear how the process. How did they approach you about it? Because the receiver, you think receivers.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
The boy George Kittle gets called up.
Hi.
That's fucking awesome.
I'm here. I think they tried to do quarterback again, but they weren't getting a lot of like support from around the league. Like a lot of teams said that no, our quarterback's not going to do it. And so they pivoted to receivers, and I got a call like literally was it like 10 days before the first game of the season. They're like, hey, would you mind if we mic'd you up, put cameras around you, and followed you to your house after games? And like occasionally we're like in your home. I was like, that seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot. And like at first I was a hard no. I was like, absolutely not. I'm not going to do this. Like I have full faith in like the football gods. And like, it just felt like it felt weird. And but I'd never watched quarterbacks. So I went and watched it, and that they did a fantastic job about showing enough. And it also gives you an inside look to the players. And like what about the publicity it gave like Kirk Cousins? Like people are like, he wasn't just like some guy. Like Kirk is a fantastic person, sense of humor, family guy. Like everyone fell in love with him, right? So I was like, all this is going to do, it's like shows you an inside life, introduces people to your family. So I thought it was a cool thing. And it's like, it's ran by Peyton in the NFL. So anything that you weren't a huge fan of, you don't have to put it in there, right?
Yeah.
And so I was a fan of that. My wife, Claire, convinced me to do it. She's like, this thing about like in 10 years, you can go back and watch it. You can show your kids this stuff.
So sick.
And I was like, you know what? That's a fantastic selling point. And so we agreed to it, and it was really fun. Like I'm used to being mic'd up. Like I don't really have an issue with that. So like the in-game stuff was fine. They would like follow me in my car, like on our drives home sometimes, which was different.
Would that be a little awkward at first, and you just kind of get used to it?
I got used to it after a while. And what was really fun too was they used NFL films on it. And so like most of the people that I was working with, I'd met them multiple times. Like the camera guys.
So there was some familiarity.
Yeah. And like
That's
they were
nice.
all incredibly polite. And like they were also only as invasive as you allowed them to be. So it's like, you guys aren't coming. I'm not going to see you for like 2 weeks besides game day. And it's like, then it'd be like, hey, we have a charity event, like for the, like a foundation event for the Niners. If you guys want to come to that, me and Debo will be there. You guys can come to that. And then like our studios handled all the in-practice stuff. So I'd be mic'd up every other Thursday for practice, which was kind of fun. Cause like those are conversations and things that go completely unnoticed.
Was it fun too and easier knowing that Debo was also doing it and you guys are on the same squad?
That was fun. That was a cool time. And like, I think because we've watched the whole thing now, I'm a fan of it. The way they intertwine me and Debo's story is really cool. And so there's a lot of 49ers footage in there. It's really fun. I don't really have any complaints about it. Like,
and they let you get to watch it all. And then if you have any corrections or anything you want to take out, is that something you would let them know?
yeah, I mean, like whether it was like, hey, my wife doesn't like how like this angle, if this like there's a certain play that I thought you guys should use a different angle so you can like actually see my run blocking skills here. Because
let's go.
like the close-ups on something else, it's like just use like a different film so you can actually see the play like the way that it's supposed to be shown. Like just stuff like that, like creative ideas. And they were great. They worked with us on like almost everything, which was pretty fun.
Did you ever hit like a point in like the middle of the season where you're like, God, there's 8 more weeks of this?
No, not really. Like
Really?
I said, it was as invasive as you allowed it to be. And so like we went through like 4 weeks, so they didn't come to my house once.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, whatever you have on the table for us, like just let us know what we have an opportunity to come see.
Got you.
So it was like one of those. Like the only thing that was weird to me was like we had a Thursday night game, and then we went off to like the coast to stay at like a nice hotel like for 2 days. And like having them be there as like me and my wife were just hanging out trying to decompress, like that was weird. Like they were only there for like an hour, but still like
There's like a psychological thing of like,
it's just
am I
like, all
working
right
now?
Yeah, you
Am
feel
I
like
Yeah, like-
you kind
separating?
of have to be on a little bit.
the switch is on, like, and I just want to kick my feet up and like not think about anything at that moment.
pop
But
it
like
on
I
Lucy.
said, they were very good about the whole thing, and like they were very efficient with their time. And when you work with the same camera guys every day, like you build a good relationship with them, and they were all fantastic.
How did it pivot? Did you have your feelings change at all when the playoffs hit and everything just means more?
Well, like they didn't come to my house once during the playoffs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like I think they followed me home one like after maybe the Green Bay game, but like I didn't even see them again. So it was very low key during the playoffs.
How does it get handled like when injuries come involved?
Well,
Because Debo was injured in the middle of the year at one point. Yeah, like how does that work? Like say you get injured.
so like you just are not mic'd in practice, and they just mic'd you up on the sideline for the game,
And then you kind of game plan like, hey,
they just
I'll
like
allow you to see this or allow you to do this.
well, it's like they can't come into the training room. They're not in the facilities.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know if Debo even let him come to his house when he was injured.
Mhm.
It's like it's like just
Right.
as much as you give them, and like it's different because like Justin Jefferson missed like a handful of games with his back and stuff. So like a big part of his thing is just rehab and stuff. So I haven't watched his part yet. So but my wife did and said it's like very interesting, like just behind the scenes, like seeing somebody rehab from something.
Mhm.
Um,
I think that's the most fascinating stuff.
It
'Cause,
will be.
you know how all the boys are, like when you're injured, like the ebbs and flows of your own self mentally, and just kind of being around
it'll
the
be interesting.
facility is like always cool to kind of see the behind the scenes on that.
It will be cool, but like the only like my only complaint with the entire thing was that you have 5 guys between 17 and 20 games and 8 episodes.
Do you think it should be more?
It needs to be 12 episodes minimum. I just like that's what me and Debo talked about, and we're just like it's missing some like the rawness of
Mhm.
it. Like for example, every Thursday throughout the entire season, like we're mic'd up on Thursdays and we go every other week. But every Thursday, me, Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelly, and my tight ends coach Brian Fleury would start a thing called Positivity Thursdays, and like we'd sit and it was during like a defensive period, right? So we'd have like 10 minutes we're not doing anything, and we'd sit there and we'd say something positive about the person standing next to us, and we would rotate, talk about different people every single week, but just something that like they did that we thought was like really cool, just like a positive reinforcement thing, because the
Yeah.
football season's really damn long,
Yeah.
and like I think like 2 of the 3 of us were dealing with injuries, and it's just like sometimes you're just in your head, you know. So just hearing something like that when your guys are supporting you,
100%.
and I was a huge fan of that, but it didn't make the show because they just like we don't have enough space for it,
Mhm.
and I was like, I think that's BS.
Yeah.
Like just add a little
Yeah.
like because like I mean there's a ton of footage, but just like I feel like it could be a little bit more personable if you had a couple more episodes. But besides that, the show's fantastic.
It's like, hey, if you have the content, instead of squeezing it, we don't have the footage. It's like, hey, since the content's good enough, like let's just make a little
It's
bit more.
great
Expand
content.
it and let it go.
Because watching quarterback, they do such a fucking awesome job.
'Cause there's
and
3
I'm
guys.
so stoked about
Mhm.
the lineup with you guys.
Oh, it's
Because
great.
you got guys who like, number one, Justin was, he got injured. He's also in a contract year. You got Debo. You got the energy of your guys' team.
Yep.
Loving football the way you guys love football, going in and out of injuries there, and then having the Super Bowl run. Like, I think it's going to be so awesome.
It's really fun.
So it's you, Debo,
JJ,
JJ,
Devontae Adams,
Devontae
and
Adams.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra. Yeah, because I feel like when I
All
was
great
watching the
guys and
trailer,
great teams.
the trailer goes so hard. It
Chills.
gets you juiced up. Yes,
Juiced.
absolutely. But when I thought it was literally like you, Debo, and JJ, and then like halfway through the trailer, they also introduced Devontae, and
Yeah.
then
You're like, whoa, Devontae
Amar?
Adams?
Yeah.
Amari?
Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra, excuse me, fantasy team too. He was actually a stud for me this year,
Yeah, he had a great year.
and it's awesome. That, dude, imagine the amount of risk that Omaha and Netflix takes on when you're filming guys that are playing a 100% injury rate risk sport.
Crazy.
Dude's just like, what if all y'all just got taken by the Grim Reaper?
Yeah, that or like
I mean,
Like,
the filming's
what-
over.
what if-
Filming's over. It's done.
what if nobody made the playoffs?
Yeah.
That too, yeah. Because you got Detroit, you got you guys, you got.
I think. That
I
was
mean,
it.
Minnesota had a very interesting year when Kirk goes down
Mhm.
and all that. Who else? Devontae. The Raiders make a run as
the end.
who's the head coach? Who's that?
AP.
Antonio,
Pierce.
AP gets the job. So yeah, a lot of good storylines that
I
they got to
know.
follow.
God, it's cool.
It's gonna be sick.
You guys are. Yeah, it's really fun.
So you've seen every episode all the way through?
When's it come out? July 10th?
Yes, we have a premiere July 9th in LA.
Oh,
Nothing
yeah?
like a good flight to LA from Nashville on a Tuesday.
No doubt.
God,
No doubt.
just the middle of my work week.
Just the
Who
middle
would
of
make
my
people
work week.
fly to the West Coast in the middle of the week like that?
Brutal. I don't know.
It's
Insane
bad ball.
people.
That's bad ball.
Yeah. You gotta
Insane
think
people.
farther down the road.
Yeah,
Can't
man.
be doing that.
Crazy. You can't be doing that on a Tuesday
Yeah.
in the middle of a work
That
season.
is
In the middle of hot summer too.
Like
I mean-
going. I mean, like,
It's bad ball.
jeez. Some would say, not me.
Yeah.
Some would say,
Not us.
A lot of people would look at
yeah.
that and say that's a bad deal, but not us.
Yeah, not this podcast.
So,
Mm-mm.
fun. The receivers thing though. One thing that was fun I did get to do. I got to go to. It's called Netflix Upfronts, and it's like they show off all the shows that are coming to Netflix, like to all these giant marketing places.
Yeah.
And so like, and I got to do the receivers thing, so I got to go on stage in front of like, I don't know, 7,500 people, and like just kind of present for a minute. But backstage I got to meet Kate Hudson, which is Fool's
Nice.
Gold is like my favorite romantic
Yes,
comedy.
dude,
So
that
like
is
that,
the number one rom-com.
yeah. So like I love Matthew McConaughey. Kate Hudson's phenomenal. So like that was a dream. And then Jamie Foxx walked in, and I got to meet Jamie Foxx, which
That's
was
sick.
I was just like, hey man, Gold Digger's one of my favorite songs of all time. Just want to say that. Nothing to do with my wife. It's just a jam. Really appreciate it. Like,
Out of all the things you've done, I love Gold Digger.
that song is so good.
How
So
did he
good.
receive that information?
He just laughed at me. It was
That's
fantastic.
awesome.
He laughed at me. It was fantastic. And then my wife met the creator of, I don't know what her name is, but the creator of Scandal, Grey's Anatomy, and Bridgerton. She was there as well.
Just big timers. Bro.
Yeah, and like Claire's favorite show is Scandal. Yeah, Shonda Rhimes. And she was super nice, and Claire was like starstruck. It was actually funny. She was like, "It's my favorite show of all time."
Should I say something? Should I say something?
Yeah. So we got.
And you're like, go over there, or I'm gonna do it.
Cameron Diaz was there, but I didn't get to meet her. I know she was in and out pretty quick. But
You saw it from across the room, though.
I got to watch her and Jamie Foxx presented because they have like some spy or some TV show movie coming out. Looks good. We got to watch the trailer. Looks fun.
Good to hear about Jamie Foxx making a comeback.
Yeah, he looked great.
That's
He
awesome.
looked like he was wearing a nice suit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tall guy, short guy.
Not short.
Not short. That's
yeah,
all. That's all. I
not
need to
short.
hear. Yeah.
Yeah, not short. He's I mean, I'm gonna guess 6 feet tall at least.
Oh, that's a win.